As far as the restrictions on age in the universities of Saudi Arabia, then to my limited knowledge, I don't believe all of them are as strict and as rigid as Jamia Islamiyya in Medina, our school. May Allah continue to bless it. I'm not sure that the other schools are as strict and as rigid. Jamia Islamiyya, Medina is generally 25 years old. Mecca, Qasim, Riyadh, even some universities and some branches in Jeddah are a bit more laxed with regards to the age. It may not be absolute acceptance, but it's, to my limited knowledge, a bit easier than 25. So why is this a condition? Is this a difficulty? It's a hardship. Brothers want to study, so on and so forth. There's no point in talking about that. That's the rule. It's their university. It's their scholarship. They can do whatever they want to do. It's their school. And they can accept who they want to accept at what age they want to accept. The only thing that you can do, if you're under the age of 25, is try to apply. If you're over the age of 25, then you have to go through Allah's spacious earth to find something else. As far as what many brothers do, many brothers, they spend time ripping their hearts out, ripping their hearts apart, even talking about the school, 25, it doesn't make sense, it's haram, we want to seek ilm, ya akhi, you're wasting your time. Saudi Arabia will remain, Al-Jamia Islamiyya will remain, with you being there or without you being there. So it doesn't make any sense for you to just waste your time, your energy, your effort, and your heartache about something that you have no control over. Everybody understand this? What's the wisdom behind that? Allahu A'lam. Everybody understand this? So that's first and foremost. So if you're beyond the age of 25, then inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, look for other schools. Whether those other schools are in the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, other Gulf countries, or outside of the Gulf, in the Middle East, or outside of the Middle East. Whether it be Malaysia, whether it be South Africa, whether it be West Africa, wherever you have the ability to get some type of quality, formal Islamic education, a place, a country that's relatively safe, a place, a country that you're free to travel to and from, a place in which you have the ability to do your own studies outside of the school, a personal tutor, the traditional way of studying in the masjid, the traditional madrasa. You can study from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Then after that, the rest of the day is mine. In the masjid, Quran, hadith, is my fiqh teacher, my tajweed teacher. He teaches me fara'id, so on and so forth. I spend 4 hours every day reading, etc. Wherever that place may be in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's spacious earth. As Allah Azza wa Jalla tells us in the Quran, Inna ardi wasi'ah. My earth, Inna ardullahi wasi'ah. Allah's earth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's land, Allah says, my land, the earth, is expansive, it's wide. Allah tells us, those who leave their homes with the intention to make hijrah, with the intention of fighting, with the intention of struggling in Allah's cause, and they die, they're killed, they're martyred, فَقَدْ وَقَعَ أَجْرُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ. His reward is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So therefore, limiting yourself to a place, to a country, to a university, to a school is not the best thing that you want to do. It's not the best thing that you want to do. Bi-idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. Try to get into Medina. Try to get into the university in Saudi. If you're too old or if you're young enough but you don't get accepted, don't let that stop you. And just because Medina has an age restriction, don't think that it's just bad, because there are other positive things about Medina. Other schools, their age is easier to get in, but the acceptance rate is far lower, considerably lower. And the amount of people that have been accepted into Medina from America, from the UK, from Canada, is like no other school. It's not an accident why there's so many people from Jamia Islamiyya. Those from Qura, relatively limited compared to Medina. Malik, Saud, Al-Imam, Qasim, Kuwait, it's of no comparison. You sit there, Fulan in New York City, Philadelphia, all from Medina. So when Allah Azza wa Jalla takes something from you, He gives you something else. When one door is shut, Allah opens up 3 other doors. Everybody understand this? So it's very important to understand this. Okay? As far as a specific university, then as I said before the other day, I would not restrict a person to study in these places, but I would recommend for you to find a scholarship in one of the Gulf countries. One of the Gulf countries. The reasons why I'm saying that, no one misunderstand my speech, I'm speaking objectively, is because those Gulf countries, they normally offer full scholarships in which you don't have to worry about anything but studying. The relative ease of traveling to and from those schools, the political atmosphere and relationship between America, the UK, and those countries is relatively smooth, in contrast to other countries that you may go to in which is a hardship and a difficulty. And you'll find all types of problems when you do that. Everybody understand this? So there are other countries that offer scholarships, but they may not be full paid. You have to have money saved up. You have to worry about working, teaching English, doing this, or whatever the case may be. So there's benefits in that. Everybody understand this? Let alone, before you even get into the concept of aqidah, bid'ah, the concept of tawajjuh, okay? What direction this school is in, what direction this country is in. Everybody understand this? We won't go too deep and too dirty, okay? Get into things, but this is a reality. There's some countries in which the formal standard aqidah, the formal standard madhab, the formal standard tawajjuh, aslan is jacked up. It's jacked up. In which the Sunni people there, let alone Ahl Hadith, are a tiny minority. They're looked down upon, they're scorned, they're made fun of, they're humiliated. Their resources, their funding is extremely limited. You can go there and study, that's tayyib. But just know for sure it's not the same as another country in which the Sunni people are the majority. They're the ones that are funded, they're protected, they're safe, they're free, they can teach, they're paid. Everybody understand this? It's a huge difference between this country and between another country. Everybody understand this? Everybody clear on this? We want to go in. It's very important to understand this. You may go to some countries in which is knowledge there, but it's many hurdles and obstacles that you have to jump over to get to, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But if you can do that, which is simple and easy, then you should do that. So that's my advice. When I didn't get accepted to Medina, I was upset, but it didn't stop me. Well, alhamdulillah. It didn't stop me. I continued to study. I studied in America. I traveled to Yemen. I learned in Yemen. Everybody understand this? Can I go to Yemen now? Can I go to Egypt now? There's always going to be an avenue. There's always going to be some place. They can't stop Allah's nur. They can't put out Allah's nur. You have to find it. You have to realize it. You have to be willing to sacrifice for it. Everybody understand this? So that's my nasiha. And worst come to worst, if you don't find a university, nothing should stop you from studying in your own country. If you don't have no one qualified or someone has good character in your own country, travel to another city, to another state, to another country. I live in America. I want to study. I go to Canada. There are mashayikh in Canada. I travel to Minnesota. I travel to this place, which is better than where I'm at right now. We've spoken on this issue several times. What's important is that if you do have the proper age, apply to Medina, apply to the other schools, send your paperwork, save up your money, work, save up your money, go make Umrah, go travel to North Africa, to South Africa, to West Africa, to East Africa. Go travel to Malaysia. If you're hungry, if you're thirsty, if you make the necessary effort, bi'idhnillah, Allah will not forsake you. Allah will not forsake you, subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's in brief. Wallahu alam.